Empress of Ireland sank in just 170 feet of water. In 1914, her mainmast and funnels were still visible just below the surface. 90 years later, this multi-beam echo sounder image reveals the toll the relentless currents of the St. Lawrence have taken. The Empress now lies buried in the muddy bottom at a 65-degree angle. Choked with silt and debris, the interior of the Empress of Ireland has disintegrated into a deadly maze. Kim, Terry and their support team will dive with rebreathers rather than traditional scuba tanks. Rebreathers will recirculate each diver's air throughout the dive, preventing the release of air bubbles that could bring debris within the wreck raining down upon them. Their equipment will also enable Kim and Terry to actually talk underwater. For even the most experienced divers, the Empress of Ireland comes as a shock. After having descended through the fierce currents and freezing temperatures of the St. Lawrence, divers discover the Empress herself is barely visible through its changing mantle of river silt. Having made their descent by scooters, Kim and Terry and the support team swim along the upper rail to orient themselves. Then down the port side to search for a small elusive salvage hole. The only way in to the unexplored stern of the Empress. Once inside the Empress, Kim and Terry must negotiate their way through a maze of collapsed catwalks and tunnel through spaces so narrow there may be no opportunity to turn around for great distances. Any obstruction ahead could prove fatal. Inside, Kim secures a navigation line. Should the team lose visibility, this line will lead them back out. The search then begins for a route into the Empress of Ireland's unexplored engine room. It's there the divers hope to discover evidence of Captain Kendall's last orders. Orders from the captain of the Empress were relayed from the bridge to the engine room by use of mechanical telegraphs. Orders manually entered on the bridge telegraphs were instantly transmitted to identical port and starboard telegraphs in the engine room via a series of cables and chains. The ship's engineer would confirm he was acting on the captain's order by manually lining up a second arm on either telegraph to match the captain's order. This return call was instantly relayed back to the corresponding bridge telegraph via another series of cables and chains. Captain Kendall testified that after having ordered close watertight doors, his final order was full speed ahead in an attempt to beach the Empress. But it was too late. River water pouring into the engine room had already killed the Empress's steam power. Since the ship's engineer could not comply with Captain Kendall's last order, he would not have sent a return call of full speed ahead. The last return call to be found on the engine room telegraphs should then be close watertight doors, if Captain Kendall's testimony were true. The Empress of Ireland's bridge telegraphs were rescued by divers in the 1960s. The engine room's port and starboard telegraphs, however, still remain buried near the base of her immense engines.
Sorry. What the hell all this is? I hope he's over here going on it. This is one hell of a mess. Yo, where the hell are we?
To their astonishment, Kim and Terry realize that despite the obstacles, they have actually made it into the engine room.
This is absolutely incredible.
Using engine parts as their guides, the divers try to orient themselves.
Is this the eccentric? Yeah. The fuel machine is neutral. Right there, honey. Where's the other? Yeah, this is the valve. Here's the thimble. You can see the throttle valve back here, too.
It's pretty horrendous in there. This looks brutal.
It looks a lot better than it did.
Yeah, the valves seem to be more at like 90 degrees, so I don't know if that whole bulkhead is... Yeah, like it's either shifted down. It seemed to be more than 65 degrees to me. Like,
well, the support bracket might have gone for the manifold and it's going to slip down.
Sort of slipped
and
down.
The pipe tunnel, there might have been a collapse there.
Okay, Kim will explain it all. Let me know.
Yeah, we're near the back bulkhead here, Bob, and you're going to see the two...
Even though they risk parts of the Empress's massive engines collapsing on top of them, Kim and Terry are confident they will be able to locate the engine room telegraphs on their next dive.
So I'm just going to hitch a ride with you, eh, Kim?
Yeah.
Despite taking extreme care as they maneuver beneath collapsed catwalks and shifting debris, clouds of silt are making it harder and harder for Kim and Terry to find their way back into the engine room. Then, deep within the wreck, Kim hits a dead end and suddenly everything starts to go wrong.
You okay up there? Turn around. Are you okay? No, it's not a turn around. Turn around? Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Johnny. That's okay. Oh. This is going to take a little work.
In the confusion and almost zero visibility, the team is separated and Terry is caught up in the navigation line.
Get real astronauts here. Pull the head of the line to you. Take up this line.
Yelling through their mouthpieces, Kim and Terry try to locate one another.
Where are you? Is that you? Yeah. Okay. I sit right here, wrapped up in the line.
In the struggle to free Terry, the navigation line is destroyed.
Hold on. Okay, where's
Their only way out now is using one of the distant film lights as a beacon.
right behind you? Right up there. Follow the 400. Okay? Follow the 400.
Level too far?
You passed just under the staircase?
With the divers safely out of the wreck, the team as a whole must now decide whether to risk another attempt on the engine room. By next day, the decision has been made.
can't see anything. Oh, there. Look there. Right there. I got choked. Hey? Yeah.
Once again, problems seem to be mounting for the divers when...
Did you see that? What are you looking at? Oh, it's a telegraph.
It's just incredible. Like, letters are all there, just standing out bright. I just couldn't believe the condition of it.
So you guys actually found them? You found both of them, or you found just the one?
You can see the other one. It was buried down in the mud. It's really low under a broken bunch of catwalks and debris. Starboard one's a hole there. Couldn't believe how white the face was, and all the lettering's still on it. The glass is broken out, but here, Jim. I can see the chains coming up and the wood's falling down that used to encase the chains in. Oh, that stuff is there. It's just amazing.
This is all catwalk here. We're dropping down below.
Oh, what's that? Is that
That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah. There it is.
Yeah. Look at the condition.
Look at that.
Look at the condition that's in. Unbelievable. You can almost even see this is a return call. What is that? Standby?
Standby.
What would it be, Bob?
That'd be stop.
Really? So it's all stopped?
Yep.
Well, no way. This does not match what's in the inquiry. The closed watertight door order, which was the second last order, is not there.
Despite his sworn testimony to the contrary, the all-stop return call on the engine room telegraph proves Captain Kendall never sent the order to close watertight doors, as he claimed. With all of his testimony now in doubt, is it possible Kendall was solely responsible for the Empress of Ireland's fatal collision with the Storstad?